A way to vote in today's primaries. News specialist Tyrese Boone is live at the Salt Lake County Government Center with what those residents need to know. Tyrese.
Good morning, Lori, and that's right. I mean, today's the big day. Today is election day, and people from across the state are already making their way to the ballots to vote. But however, for Eureka residents, they might have to find another way because they were impacted by those iron fire evacuations. And so once again, today is election day. It's the final day to vote, and residents everywhere are heading to the polls to cast their votes. But in Eureka, some residents were still impacted by those evacuations, so they're still trying to figure out a way to vote. However, officials say they can still vote in person in Nephi later this morning. The Juab County Clerk's office will open early to make sure those voters can still cast their ballot.
Most of our ballots are returned the day before the election or on election day, so we're hoping that'll come up a little bit.
And officials say ballots are already placed in Eureka drop boxes were collected before evacuations even began. And polls across Utah tonight close at 8 p.m. And Eureka voters can still vote in Nephi starting at 7 a.m. today as well. So if people would like to vote, today is the final day to vote, and why not? Lori, back to you.
Opened just 5 minutes ago. Tyrese, thank you for that update. And KSL is your home for election results. Join us all day today as those ballots come in. You can join us on television, online, and through our KSL Plus app. Right now, wildfires all over Utah burning more than 50,000 acres. They've forced multiple evacuation orders. And this morning, we're learning there's been another new start overnight. Utah Fire Info telling us the Dutchman fire has sparked in Utah County just south of Saratoga Springs. And just moments ago, fire officials gave an update saying that the forward progression of that fire was stopped overnight. They also said that the smoke will still be visible within the fire area for most of the day as crews continue to mop up those flames. Now, this is what the fire looked like around midnight, and you can see it burning just there on the hilltop. Right now, it's burned about 80 acres. It is at 0% containment. And to Beaver County, a new wildfire has exploded in size. More evacuations are in place. The Cottonwood fire, you heard Matt talking about it, is burning near I-15. At 5 o'clock on Monday, this was just a plume of smoke. Now it is at 10,000 acres in size. It's burning in the mountains just east of Beaver. Now, from the beginning, it shut down Highway 153 and triggered evacuations. The Beaver County Sheriff's Office says high-low cabins up to Kent Lake was the first area to be evacuated. Last night, the office ordered the immediate evacuations of Eagle Point and Merchant Valley. Anyone still on the mountain and needing to evacuate should head east into Piute County. We're told the fire started near mile marker 5 on SR 153, and it quickly took off. While the Iron County fire burns, the city of Santa Quin reminding residents that they do not have to evacuate. The local fire department says some have received evacuation alerts on their cell phones, likely due to them living closer to Eureka, where those evacuations are in place. They're reminding everyone in the fire is not threatening Santa Quin at this time. All of the smoke in the Salt Lake Valley right now isn't coming from the Bonneville fire. It's actually coming from the Hastings fire burning near Tooele. That fire is 25% contained. It's burning through about 20,000 acres. Drivers on I-80 will see active flames on the northeast perimeter. They are being monitored. Firefighters are hoping mild weather will assist them with fighting those flames overnight. Fireworks go on sale in Utah tomorrow amidst what could be the state's worst wildfire season. Local and state fire officials are reminding everyone to check your local firework restriction maps. Don't shoot off fireworks until 2 days before Independence Day and Pioneer Day. They say with the many wildfires already burning in the state, firefighting resources are strained.
As we've seen over the weekend, it just takes a split second for the conditions. Everything is so volatile right now. We're just essentially pleading with the public to follow the recommendations, follow the rules.
There will be increased patrols along firework restricted areas with fines for offenders. The state fire marshal says he recommends Utahns celebrate America's 250th anniversary by protecting our state and skipping those street and yard fireworks celebrations this year. Doctors with Intermountain Health telling people to limit their time outdoors as wildfire smoke drifts across Utah. Doctors say bad air pollution can increase the risk of heart attacks, stroke, and other health conditions. They say to watch out for any symptoms and recognize that sometimes those may not appear instantly.
Don't have any symptoms, just realize you're getting exposed. It's still worth limiting your exposure.
You can download the KSL Weather app to check the air quality in your neighborhood. Now to other headlines this morning. Tyler Robinson's former roommate will not have to testify in person at Robinson's preliminary hearing. Tyler Robinson charged with capital murder for allegedly killing Charlie Kirk at UVU last year. Prosecutors say he was in a romantic relationship with a former roommate. On Monday, a judge decided that the former roommate does not need to attend a preliminary hearing in person. They say hearsay evidence and a recorded interview from that roommate is sufficient. A preliminary hearing is needed to determine if the state meets its burden of proof to charge Robinson. His hearing is scheduled for July 6th through the 10th. Later this week, the judge is expected to decide on whether cameras and microphones will be allowed in the courtroom during Robinson's trial. Utah County Sheriff's deputies say a hang glider is dead after crashing near Mount Timpanogos Sunday night. The hang glider called the sheriff's office around 6 o'clock in the evening, saying he was badly hurt in a narrow ravine. Search and rescue teams sent 3 helicopters to that area. They began what they called a very technical rescue. The sheriff's office says that despite their best efforts, the man died at the scene. Deputies are working on telling his family about his death. Once they do, his name will be released to the public. A 14-year-old is behind bars this morning, accused of murdering a 66-year-old man in Stansbury Park. The Tooele County Sheriff's Office says a woman called them saying that she had been hurt and her husband was inside her home with a teenager who had a knife. After arriving on scene, deputies say they found the man dead and the teenager on the run. He was later found and taken into police custody. Detectives are treating this as a homicide investigation. They have not released the name of the juvenile. Let's take a look at downtown Salt Lake City. There you can see the haze off in the distance. Let's get to Matt Johnson and talk about the forecast. I mentioned our KSL weather app. It's very, very helpful for those who live in the valley because you can get down in your neighborhood and see what the air quality is.
Yeah, it's a great resource. Once you pull up the app on the KSL weather app, on the bottom right-hand side, there's an option to click for more, and then you'll see the air quality tab, and that's where you can check sensors in your neighborhood. I've got Tuesday tidbits looking like fire danger the entire week through the weekend because we got a lot of wind headed our way. There's a chance for storms tomorrow, and they could produce microburst winds. I'm talking about 30 to 50 mile an hour gusts, maybe some capable of 60 plus mile an hour winds. High winds ramp up across the entire state as we head into the weekend. For today, strongest winds are going to be the mountaintops of south central Utah. That's exactly where our new fire broke out. I'm talking about the Cottonwood Fire east of Beaver. That's going to be making another big run today. Look at Wednesday, tomorrow afternoon. I've got some pockets of magenta across the state. That's because we could see microburst winds with some of these isolated pockets of thunderstorms. We're also looking at some gusty winds just in general. So fire danger not only today, but even into tomorrow. Red flag warning in place for south central Utah where we've got that fire burning. 5 to 10% humidity, winds 25 to 35. This fire is going to make another big run to the east, hoping we can save the town of Eagle Point, but it's running that way, and it's running fast. Logan, you got 93 today, smoky skies. Smoke continues across the entire state. You got Moab at 103, going to be hazy there as well. Coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to take a look at the 7-day forecast and that chance for thunderstorms tomorrow just ahead.
All right, we'll check back in with you, Matt. Thank you. Utah joining more than a dozen states suing to block California's new plastics law. That law aims to cut plastic waste by requiring all packaging to be recyclable or compostable by 2032, while also reducing overall plastic use. In the lawsuit, state attorneys general argued the law goes too far by forcing companies nationwide to change how they package products if they want to sell in California. Federal court will now decide whether that law can stand. The FAA is launching a new flight management technology using artificial intelligence. It announced Monday that a new contract has been signed with a Boston-based airspace intelligence. Now, the intent is to deploy 2 technologies that will help air traffic controllers. It's all in an effort to reduce flight delays and cancellations. Officials say the tech will analyze weather, airport capacity, and more. They're expected to be fully in effect by the end of 2028. And in other AI news, Google will reportedly invest about $75 million into a research partnership with the movie studio A24. It's the studio behind Marty Supreme and Backrooms. The research will be to figure out new tools using AI to produce and distribute movies. A partner to the studio told the Wall Street Journal that they believe there are ways to use artificial intelligence in filmmaking that preserve creative control. Instagram, known for its vertical video formats, has launched a new way to view social media videos. As of Monday, the platform is letting people watch those trending videos horizontally on their television at home. It's called Instagram for TV, and the app says it's planning to introduce more long-form episode-like storytelling for creators. It coincides with the launch of the Instagram app for Samsung TVs. Well, if you've got a shopping list for Amazon items, Prime Day, it begins today. This year, it will last 4 days till the 26th. It's the second time it has ever let the event go on this long. Most deals require an Amazon Prime membership to buy. Netflix has won the rights to a Sesame Street movie, working with their creators behind the Aladdin and Lilo and Stitch movies. Rideback will produce the feature film. Sesame Workshop, the company behind the iconic children's show, will also be involved in the production. This announcement comes after a year-long bidding war between Universal and Netflix for the movie rights. Warner Brothers was also in the running but bowed out earlier amid acquisition talks. Netflix already has the television rights to Sesame Street, which it bought just over a year ago. And a memorial for a Japanese aviator who died here in Utah while attempting a trip around the world has been upgraded and rededicated. Masashi Godo crashed in the Uinta Mountains on July 4th, 1929 during a thunderstorm, shortly after leaving Salt Lake City as part of his journey. A memorial was placed near that crash site and recently was damaged by target shooters. The upgraded memorial was rededicated on Saturday. And the nonprofit Follow the Flag is getting ready to unfurl its giant free-flying flag in Pleasant Grove for the 4th of July. But before they can do that, they need a lot of help to fold. Founder Kyle Fox said that this flag has a 1/4 acre of material weighing in 450 pounds. He says it's a lot to fit into a tube and to get ready for the flag ceremony. Fox says it's all in an effort to remind people how important the flag is.
We have in common. It's the only thing left that we all have in common. The American flag.
The 12th annual flag ceremony will happen at the Grove Creek Trailhead at 7:30 in the morning on the 4th of July. Well, this morning, the Salt Lake City Temple installing a pair of beautifully restored exterior doors. Tamara Vaifanu is coming to us live from Temple Square this morning with a look at the workers' progress. This is going to be a little bit of some effort today. It's going to go on for a few hours, Tamara, but you get a front row seat to this. What makes these doors so special?
Yeah, it's been pretty incredible to see. If you have grown up here in Utah, you're a member of the LDS faith, and you know the significance of the East Temple doors. This is an iconic photo opportunity where if you have been sealed here, married here at the temple, you understand the significance of the doors and what it means to go inside and partake of some of those ordinances. But this morning, we have been letting our viewers see what has been happening here as far as the renovation and the installation of the 2 East doors. Earlier, we saw one of the doors go into place, but right now, as you're taking a live look here, we are seeing that second door that is about ready to be reinstalled. We have a crew member of about 10 out there right now from Jacobson Construction, and we have the honor of talking to Dusty Rowe right now, who is with Jacobson, the project manager over the historical structures. Tell us a little bit about what's been going on here. We see your crew of about 10 gentlemen getting ready to hoist up these oak solid doors weighing about 583 pounds each.
Yeah, that's just the door. They also have hardware, glass, and medallions in them, so they're more than that, 600 plus pounds.
This is a huge undertaking. Can you just walk us through how you prepare for something like this?
Probably prepared for it by taking them out. That was back in 2020. We spent a lot of time going through work plans. Yeah. They actually made a mock-up of that door, and we did it a few times just to see how it was going to come off, lay down.
So you've done some test runs.
Yep.
I got to ask you, so here we are on the day when you're doing the opposite of that. How are you feeling today? I mean, I imagine this could just be a stressful assignment.
It's much calmer putting it back in than it was taking it out. I know they know what they're doing, so, and they do a very good job at it. Fetzer's Millwork out there has done an excellent job with these doors. We've also had probably four other subcontractors work on these doors, so there's been a lot of involvement. We've been working on these for the last 3 years.
It's just amazing, and people are just so dialed into all the renovations that are going on here at Temple Square. You told me that you've been in this business for about 34 years or so with Jacobson Construction, leading to this assignment. What is this assignment or job? I feel like I'm not even doing it justice by saying a job, but what does this moment mean for you as we're standing here today watching these doors be reinstalled?
It's working on stuff like this is kind of like working through life. There's always challenges. There's always things to overcome. Kind of getting through this has been kind of one of those experiences. You know, if you've done this long enough, there's solutions to everything. You just got to work at it. Keep looking, keep researching, keep talking to people, and there's always a solution out there.
Well, wonderful. Thank you so much for that perspective and allowing us to get a little glimpse of the enormous work that you have put into this project. Again, we have been live out here, Lori, at Temple Square, where we've been seeing the reinstallation of the East Temple doors. Again, this is about a 3-hour process that started around 6 o'clock. So hopefully the viewers out there are getting a sense of the renovations that are taking place. Of course, this is all to open up Temple Square to the world beginning April 5th of 2027 next year. We'll send it back to you.
Yeah, and you can reserve tickets beginning September 1st. You can bet that I will be online that day trying to get tickets because I know that is such a sacred space and so many visitors around the world will be able to see it for the first time in 133 years when it opens to the public. So that's pretty amazing. Tamara Vivenu live for us this morning from Temple Square. Tamara, thank you. All right, let's get to Matt Johnson now and talk about the forecast. We see those aren't clouds behind you, that's smoke.
Yeah, no, this is some heavy smoke pouring out of that fire, in fact, pumping out of that fire yesterday. It went from 0 to 10,000 acres in a matter of 7 hours. I mean, it got wild in a hurry, folks. Laura Rigby with the credit here, and you can see a smoke plume, kind of this darker brownish gray hue. That lower level is actually smoke pouring off the fire. Then a stable layer, and that's where you're kind of seeing this smoke hang out just a little bit, but punching through that are these tops, and these are actually pyrocumulus clouds that are building on top of the smoke plume. Just amazing stuff, amazing power coming from this fire. Energy being blown off from this thing, as you could see last night, late around 10 o'clock. Folks were saying, hey, man, this thing's glowing. This thing is really, really burning. That's the Cottonwood fire. To the south and west is in northern Iron County. We've got that sawmill fire that just hasn't grown much over the last few days, so that's good news, hoping for some good containment. Iron fire now up to 31,000 acres and counting. That's in Eureka. Bonneville fire, hey, we've got 40% containment. Last updated this morning. We'll probably get some pretty good numbers on that today as well. Hastings fire kind of took off yesterday. It's up to 20,000 acres. I got a high pressure system noted in New Mexico. That's pumping a little bit of moisture into the state. We won't see that moisture till tomorrow. So today, mostly clear skies, maybe a pop-up in the Park Valley area. That's it. It'll also be windy down in southern Utah. Looking at your forecast for today, or excuse me, tomorrow, 3 o'clock, pop-up showers and storms. There could be some rain with them, for sure. But the biggest threat here is that we could see some gusty winds, microburst winds, and dry lightning. Another fire threat. We'll do it a second day in a row on Thursday, but a lot of that activity looks to stay in most of eastern Utah. For tomorrow, the dark green shading is an area where we think confidence is highest that we could see these microburst winds from these dry thunderstorms. Keep an eye to the sky tomorrow. Today, dry, windy in the higher elevations of central Utah. Beaver's got a high of 92 down in the valley, But up towards Eagle Point, where that fire will be running, we're going to see wind gusts up to 35. Temperatures are going to be warm as well for that part of the state, in the 70s and low 80s. 93 in Logan, 93 as well in Heber City. Spanish Fork, 99 is the forecast today. We'll go for mid and upper 90s across the portion of the Wasatch Front with smoky skies dialed up for the rest of the day. I've got triple digits and then the wind. This is of concern. Look at this, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Not just windy in St. George, but the mountaintops where fires are burning, it's also going to be quite windy, so red flag warning probably the next several days. Looking at the Wasatch Front, we've got 96 to 98. Smoke and a dry thunderstorm possible tomorrow. 93, smoky again Thursday. 96 Friday, and that's when the wind's really going to ramp up for northern Utah. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Though cooler weather is in store, and we like those blue numbers, we got to get through quite a bit of wind and high fire danger to get there.
All right, Matt, thank you for that. And thanks so much for joining us for this segment of KSL News Now on this Tuesday morning. We leave you with a look at Salt Lake City waking up. You can see the haze in the air there. Stick with KSL throughout the day. We will be watching these fires and bringing you the very latest information. Thanks for being here with us.